Welcome, Rams Seahawks sit-start stream semifinals. Huge game. I had to go live. Unfortunately, just me today. Josh's wife, a little too busy giving birth. So just going to be me for now. The next couple weeks on the channel, we'll get some guests on. But for today's stream, we'll answer as many questions as we can. But first, always starting with the news, I want to just quickly hit on this. The Puka Nacua decision to live stream. You never want to stoop down to being a live streamer. It's terrible, man. Like, how can you respect these people live on YouTube? You got to go get a real job. Go do something positive with your life. These people are pathetic. The guys he's dealing with, going on YouTube, asking to subscribe to the channel, asking people to use promo code the show, play 5, get $75 in bonus. Truly embarrassing stuff from Puka Nacua, but happens to be one of the best receivers in the game, so we'll forgive him. For the real news, though, do actually want to hit on this, because I got a bunch of questions on the weather. It's really not that big of a deal for tonight. We're looking at like 50% chance of rain throughout the game, 15 miles per hour wind. Is it ideal? No. Is it bad for the kickers? Probably so. Am I going to like move JSN and Puka around? Not very much. I think ultimately the weather kind of settled in. So I think we should be not overreacting to weather. I know there was at one point chances for crazy winds. We're going to get a little bit of that, but for the most part, weather is just the small part of this game. Like, the real part is the two defenses are really good. So wanted to start there. Also, just wanted to quickly hit on how I see the game going tonight, just in case you are looking at just the way that we think this game's going to go. I have the Seahawks probably passing the ball a little bit more than they typically do, because the Rams defense right now is really struggling. They got multiple defenders on injured reserve, and I don't think the Seahawks will be able to run the ball all that well. So I think we're going to just pass the ball a ton. I like Rashid Shaheed because he's playing more. I like JSN down the field. So that's how I'm kind of playing it over on the Pick'em lobby. You can see my stuff. Sam Darnold, Kobe Durant, JSN, Kenneth Walker on the lower, because Kobe Durant to be making the tackles against these guys, and then Rashid Shaheed. So here we go. We're going to go over to the questions. Let me see if I can get to them all. Weaves, if you can, I don't see the ones that were sent before we went live anymore. So I'll go over to Ali. Stack McBride with Brissett or start Drake May? Yeah, Jacoby Brissett's been a monster. I do like the spot that he's in once again, but I got to go with Drake May still. They're going to be passing the ball a ton in that matchup. He's just been way better throughout the entire season. The Ravens defense is decent, but not crazy good. So I'm going with Drake May in that one. All right. Colin Peterson. Could you be okay with Egbuka over Sutton for upside? No, Cortland Sutton's been an absolute monster. I thought his film was fantastic this last week. And the team total is kind of rock solid for the Broncos. You can see them up here. Jacksonville's kind of a pass funnel the last month. A lot of Cortland Sutton passes because the team's just passing a whole lot more. Thrill, 20 sheet here. Tyler Shuck or Matthew Stafford, PPR pick one. I like Tyler Shuck. The Matthew Stafford, you can see in my rankings here, because I'm sure we'll get a bunch of these questions for tonight. Matthew Stafford's my quarterback, 24, way lower than he's been all season, but the Seahawks did slow him down. He doesn't have Devontae Adams, dealing with a little bit of the weather here, but just the team totals are really low. Right now, the Rams projected for under 21 points, the Seahawks at 22 points. So in general, I don't love either Sam Darnold or Matthew Stafford in fantasy. I like taking some swings right now in the Pick'em lobby, but aside from that, there's a lot better options right now at quarterback. Michael Carter, Corm, Estimate, Kenneth Walker. For me, that's Michael Carter right now. All right. Parkinson or Fannin. I'm glad we got a Colby Parkinson question right away. Talked about him on waivers. He's playing a lot more. You can see he is the tight end 4 this month on tight end 8 usage. Last week was a season high in usage. No Devontae Adams. On top of that, the Seahawks have been allowing a lot of receptions to the position. So Colby Parkinson definitely in play to just go from the waiver wire straight into your starting lineup. He's my tight end 9, 41.5 receiving yards in the Pick'em lobby. You can see recently the Rams using a bunch of tight ends. That will be the case once again. Just the team total is a lot lower than it typically is. So I'll go with Harold Fannin. He's just been so good this month. Tight end 4 in usage. He ran around 95% of dropbacks without David Njoku last week, who's still out with that knee injury. 33% target rate is awesome stuff. So I'll go with Harold Fannin on that one. Flex other or Adonai Mitchell. Oh, okay. So Parkinson versus Adonai Mitchell. I'll go with Adonai Mitchell, but that one's close. All right, Emmanuel, deep dynasty league, full PPR. The May Hunter Henry stack has gotten me here. If this is so it's Colby Parkinson over Henry. I got this one at Colby Parkinson. You can see his pick'em projection at 41.5. Hunter Henry's at 38.5. So this is like firmly in the toss-up zone. I think that just Henry's matchup individually with what the Ravens have against tight ends is just a little bit more difficult. So I know Henry's been better across the entire season, but I actually like Colby Parkinson without Devontae Adams right now. All right, Drew Gucci, full PPR, Corum, Loveland, Estime. Okay. So with Estime, it sounds like he's going to be the starter. I posted this over on the blueprint right here, which is, by the way, on Underdog Network. You can see Audric Estime handled a lot of the work after Devin Neal left, but not all of the work. Evan Hull still got in there. Estime is like somebody that's been like literally free on the market. The Saints offense is pretty decent right now with Tyler Shuck. The Jets defense is horrific. But I can't get too fired up just because he's not going to be a bell cow at the moment. So I'm actually going to go in full PPR. I'm going to go with Colston Loveland. I wrote about him a lot. Colston Loveland is my tight end 4. Roma Dunze, Luther Burden are both out. He ran a route on 83% of the dropbacks without them last week and 33% targets per route across the entire season, 2.9 yards per route without them on the field. I think he looks awesome. I'm just going to go with Colston Loveland. I'm a firm believer that he's going to be a monster. Okay, Tofu, thank you. All right, I am Telios, Parkinson or Bowers. This is where I drew the line. Brock Bowers, I have him as my tight end 7. He's at 52.5 receiving yards. I mean, they're just projected for 12 points, man. So I moved him down, but I just know that he's walking out of there with 5-6 targets. I can't say that about Colby Parkinson. So it is like a legitimate question, but I will go with Brock Bowers on that one. Okay, Drew, half PPR, Waddle, Terry, Judkins, and Loveland. I think I'm going to start Terry at wide receiver and Loveland at the flex. Waddle and Judkins on the bench. Yeah, the Waddle stuff's really challenging. I did not like what I saw from Quinn Ewers at all. They make me really nervous. So team totals come down for Miami quite a bit there. So I do like Loveland more than Waddle. And then Judkins, he's been a mess. I would probably still go. Well, yeah, if you have to start a wide receiver, then go Terry at wide receiver. And then, yeah, I would play Judkins over Loveland still, though. All right, Chicken Nuggets. Is Loveland approaching flex territory over guys like Carter and Pollard? I wouldn't say so, but it's close enough. That's a fair enough question. I think Loveland's like about 10 fantasy points over in the pick'em lobby. I can check that out right here. Colston Loveland. Oh, not Colston. Whoever that is. Colston Loveland. Yeah, I like him. He's at 9 fantasy points though. So if you look at like Tony Pollard, for example, Tony Pollard, you'll see him at more total yards. We don't have the fantasy points in there yet, but it's going to be more than the 10. So I would still go Michael Carter, Tony Pollard over someone like Colston Loveland. All right, Corum or Genty. I mean, my goodness. I'll go with Genty, but it's still really close. I mean, you can see where the Raiders are on this chart. It's not looking great, but I also don't think that Corum, when you're looking at 40% of the work on a team only projected for 21 points, it's just harder to make the math work there. So fair question. I'll roll with Ashton Genty. All right, easy raw. Flex. Rashid Rice. I don't think he's going to play concussion protocol. Egbuka, Hampton, or Waddle. This one's pretty easy for me. I'm going to go Omari and Hampton. I think that the gap's going to kind of widen between him and Vidal as they play more. And then the team total, instead of being at like 19 points for the Chargers, it's up to almost 24 points against the Cowboys. So I'll go with Omari and Hampton there. Niels, DJ Moore, Judkins if Rice misses. Yeah, I think in full PPR, I'm still going to go Quinshad Judkins. The running backs just project way better, but DJ Moore is now he's my wide receiver 20, and I wrote about him pretty extensively over on the Blueprint if you want to go check it out. Tofu, Parkinson, Gadsden, Jawan Johnson. Yeah, all these guys are pretty much back-to-back. I got Parkinson as my highest rated player of the three. Just because I'm sure a lot of people want kind of the deep dive on Parkinson. It's like 6'7". He's the best combination of like inline and receiving threat of the three tight ends that the Rams are using right now. Terrence Ferguson wins the race, but he's not as much of an inline threat right now. And then Davis Allen really is not that much of a receiving threat. So you'll see Colby Parkinson in the red area. Maybe some of the Devontae Adams like jump ball stuff might go to Colby Parkinson instead. So I'll go with Parkinson there. Yeah, Gadsden's no longer playing full-time snaps right now. All right, Allen, Bucky Irving or Kyron Williams in the flex. Yeah, I think I might have these guys back-to-back. So let me check. I got Bucky one spot ahead. Pick'em Lobby agrees in terms of total yards. It's not even close, 67 versus 89. Bucky Irving does not have the goal line role right now that belongs to Sean Tucker. That does not mean he can't not score a touchdown. And then with Kyron Williams, the Seahawks run defense is just really good. And team total is down. So I'll stick with Bucky Irving there. Ben, Devonta, Ladd, T-Mac. Thank you, Hayden. All right, Ben. Devontae, Ladd, T-Mac. This one's also really close. Devonta, I think, has got to be in the lineup right now. High team total. And the Commanders just totally stink. And then Teterow, McMillan, and Ladd's really close. Teterow was back at practice today. This is a pass funnel Bucks defense. And on top of that, Zion McCollum, their Buccaneers corner, was placed on injured reserve. So I'll lean into Teterow and McMillan. He did say he's playing through an injury, but let's rock with it. Coker, Parkinson. That one's also really close. I'll go with Jalen Coker. I think he's a real player. And a lot of the same notes apply to him. Start Stafford or Shuck. Samurai, I'm going with Tyler Shuck. Or J.J. McCarthy, Kirko, Aaron. Okay, so you have basically a sit-start question. I think Shuck's going to be my highest-ranked player right now. He's getting zone read. I thought that his tape passing the ball was also pretty damn impressive to me. He also has the easiest matchup in the world against the Jets, so I'm going into Tyler Shuck territory right now. Let me move this up so you guys can see where I got Matthew Stafford. All right. Right, first place again because of us. All right, 14 teams, 2 wide receiver, half PPR. Just lost Adams, Rome, and Burden. Man, stuck with just Pickens. So Shaheed versus Coker. Let's see what my final rankings have. I've been taking Rashid Shaheed in the Pick'em lobby. He's only at 34.5 yards. I do think that the way that the Rams play defense, Shaheed could get over the top, but Jalen Coker is just pretty firm. He's a big part of the offense right now. He's a real player, and the Bucks are going to pass the ball a little bit more. So I'll go with Coker, but I have played Shaheed in the Pick'em lobby. Niels, I forget who the other questions were. I've got Colson Loveland as my tight end 4, though. Samurai's back. Happy to start Parkinson, Warren, or Gadsden. I'm on Parkinson for sure. Samurai. All right. Jay Buffy. Superflex, got to get 2 between Shuck, Dak, and Dart. Okay, this one is pretty clean to me. Uh, Jackson Dart got more quarterback designed runs this last week. He still scrambles a ton. And then with Dak Prescott, they're fourth in projected points, up at 26 at home. I like the Chargers defense, but Dak Prescott sees everything pretty well. So I'm going to go with Dak and Dart, but do like Tyler Shuck as like a streamer type. Seahawks or Eagles defense. Let's go here for defense questions. I just used the two metrics right here. This is projected sack rate and then projected points allowed. Sacks leads to interceptions. There's a lot of correlation here. So you were asking for Seahawks and Eagles. Yeah, this is the Eagles for sure. Stafford or Stroud. I got Stroud, way higher team totals. I got 26 versus 21. Stroud seeing the field really well. He's also scrambling around a little bit, so definitely like Stroud. Herbert or Dart. Man, I forget which way I have that one. I think it's Herbert. Yep. Justin Herbert. I'm going to do some more notes on the quarterbacks for tomorrow's pod. But Cowboys allowed the most EPA to receivers. Hopefully the Cowboys just don't delete Justin Herbert, but I think you have to go against the Cowboys defense. And then Parkinson or Warren. Yeah, just with Phillip Rivers, they have a better chance this week, but you just can't run like a sophisticated offense with what he's doing right now. So I'm going Colby Parkinson. Alex, in the 2 flex full PPR league, which 2 should I start? Aaron Jones, Colby Parkinson, Rico Dowdle, Egbuka, Michael Carter, Judkins. All right, full PPR. T-Mac, I like the best of the receivers. Dowdle and Aaron Jones would also be right there with me. Okay. I think I'm going to go with, in full PPR, I want Tedero and McMillan in there. And then I guess I'll do Aaron Jones just because the matchup's so easy. You know, the Giants. They haven't been able to stop anybody. So that one's really close. It'd be between Jones, Dowdle, T-Mac largely for me. And then, yeah, Judkins and everyone else is pretty close. All right, Anthony, oil up. Agree. PPR, points per first down and kick punt return yards, which I don't keep track of. Marvin Harrison Jr. or Rashid Shaheed. I saw a clip of Marvin Harrison. It sounds like he's got a decent chance of playing, but not guaranteed. So if it's just these guys, I think I would go Rashid Shaheed, knowing that you get the kick return yards, but I don't know for a fact if Marvin's going to play, and I don't track the return yards enough to know how much of that matters. So I will just keep saying I like Rashid Shaheed in the pick'em lobby. He's playing a lot more. And I think just the matchup would kind of incline that he should be pretty involved. So here's some of the players I like in the pick'em lobby right now. All right, Addison or Jaden Higgins. Yeah, these ones are like complete dart throws. With Addison, quarterback questions. With Higgins, it's all of the just rotation questions. Matchup for both are awesome. Raiders and Giants. I think I have these guys pretty much back to back in my rankings here. I don't think that either one are strong plays. Addison's maybe a little bit more boom bust. I had Higgins like in the wide receiver 36 area. Do I like Judy, Chimere Dike, Quinn Johnson, Trey Harris more? I don't. If Quentin Johnson was fully healthy, like full participant in practice, maybe I would go him, but he's been limited last couple days. Mini or San Francisco? Let's go back. Let's find. So we got San Francisco here, and that's against old Phillip Rivers. And then Minneapolis, or Minnesota, I should say. I'll probably just go with the Vikings. They're a great fantasy defense because they're going to get sacks. You get like the Van Ginkel like interceptions and whatnot. So I'll go with the Vikings there, cause a bunch of chaos. And it's Jackson Dart's first game against like that style defense. So let's see if he's got it. All right, Samurai, Broncos, Chiefs, Bengals. You can see the Broncos and Chiefs pretty close together here. You get Trevor Lawrence on the heater versus Cam Ward for the Chiefs end, and then the Bengals. I can't do the Bengals. I'm sorry. I know it's Quinn Ewers, but it's pretty tough. I'll go with the Kansas City Chiefs unless Chris Jones wants to stop playing. The last three in a PPR guillotine league, flex to Achane Jacobs or Nico Collins. Wow, you got great options here. Full PPR. You got to get Achane in there. And I think you just got to do Josh Jacobs if he's fully healthy. So he's been on the injury report. I'm guessing he's going to play through it. Josh Jacobs over the last 2 years is just like 3 points higher than Nico Collins. Maybe it's a little bit closer in full PPR. I love Nico Collins matchup though. So if Josh Jacobs like truly questionable, go Nico Collins. If Josh Jacobs like a full participant in practice, I would go with Jacobs. But Achane's got to be in. He's the entire offense right now. A Cunningham, Purdy, or Lamar Jackson. This one's got to be Lamar Jackson. Let me pull it up for you guys. We talked about on Stats versus Film. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I posted the clips. Lamar was like scrambling around, throwing the ball well. I think he's fully back. And we'll see if the Patriots defense is actually good. So I thought the Patriots got lit up by Josh Allen the second half last week. Lamar looks healthy to me. I think you just have to go with Lamar. But Purdy was also healthy. You lose Ricky Pearsall, but the Colts have more problems defensively with some of their best players out. So I like Purdy, just like Lamar more. Logan, Juwan, or Colby, but I'll also have Woody in the flex. I mean, he hasn't practiced, so I don't know about Woody Marks. We'll see. It's that ankle injury. It didn't seem like it was a big deal, but you never know with him. Jordan should just be picked up just in case. I got Colby Parkinson one spot ahead of Juwan, but Vele's out, Devin Neal's out, so Juwan Johnson's like a legit player. Penzi, Dynasty, full PPR, pick 4, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. Ladd, Flowers, Godwin. Okay, I like Ladd and Flowers a lot more than the rest of those guys. And then Pollard. Pollard's got to be in there. So it's between Rashid Shaheed, Khalil Shakir, and Chris Godwin. I'll go Khalil Shakir. Did note Shakir gets the Browns, and the Browns have allowed the fewest amount of receptions to wide receivers who line up in the slot. That said, Dalton Kincaid hasn't practiced with that knee injury, so that might be good for Khalil Shakir's playing time. Samurai back again. You're on a roll. Barkley, Rico, Swift, JJ, Estime, Manungai. Picking 3 of these guys. All right, Saquon's got to be in there. Swift's got to be in there. And I think Rico Dowdle's got to be in there. So backs over receivers. This is the best JJ McCarthy / JJ matchup they've had. So hopefully it comes through. But I think he's the wide receiver 87 in scoring this month. Tough. Drake. Pick 1. Ladd, Adonai, Pearsall, Coker. Okay. I'm going Ladd McConkey. It's the freaking Cowboys, man. They haven't stopped anybody. So until that changes, I'm just going back. I know Ladd McConkey's good at football. I know Herbert's good at football. I'm going Ladd. Golden, Burrow, Brissett, 1 tight end, 2 flex. Let's go with, man, these guys are so close. So I have Burrow currently ahead of Brissett. T. Higgins barely practiced. If T. Higgins is out, this goes up into complete toss-up category. So I would say if Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are in, you got to go that way. And then with Jacoby, we'll see if Marvin Harrison's going to play. I don't think that matters all that much. They've got enough with McBride and Marv. I did post it onto Twitter. Go follow me, by the way. What are you guys doing? Let's go follow Hayden Winks on Twitter. Boom. Jacoby Brissett has 56 more pass attempts than the quarterback 2 since week 6. So he's on an absolute heater. So it's a fair question. I got Joe Burrow assuming T. Higgins is going to play. All right, a Diesel. Stroud or Stafford? I got Stroud. I think Stafford just mostly is sit. it is what it is. Semi got you here, but matchup, team total, weather, no Devontae Adams. It's a lot to handle. Also, second time in division. These games are just typically pretty close. Rashee Rice or Christian Watson. I don't think Rashee Rice is going to play. We'll see about Christian Watson. And then Jawan or Tet. Yeah, Jawan Jennings I got ranked really, really aggressively. So Jawan this month, wide receiver 13 and wide receiver 19 usage. They have the second highest team total. They've got the Colts. Both their top corners are out. The Colts have also allowed the most receptions to slot wide receivers, and Jawan's not like a natural slot, but they do get him in there plenty too. So I got Jawan just ahead of Tetaroa, but this is a fantastic matchup for Tetaroa as well. Zion McCollum just went to injured reserve. Bucks pass funnel. So I like both, to be honest. Get some. PPR pick one for the flex, Pickens, Sutton, and Harvey. Yeah, I think this is just RJ Harvey. He just gets used so much right now. He's catching a bunch of passes. He is the goal line back. So I love George Pickens. You guys know that. I'll go with RJ Harvey. I think like the model just would agree with me. So one way, if you guys do want to look at this, I have half PPR points and expected half PPR points for the last month for all these players. So like for these kind of flex questions, you can see Harvey is at 17 points kind of on each side. You'll see with Pickens, Pickens is at 12. Obviously this is half PPR, not full PPR. And then who is the other one? You said Sutton. And then Cortland Sutton is at 14.9, 12.9. So I think you'd have to go Harvey there. Hometown, Stafford or Jacoby. Yeah, this one's pretty clearly Jacoby for me. Chase, half PPR, pick one per position. Purdy or Dart. I'm on Purdy, higher team total. He's not facing Brian Flores. Flex, ETN or Rico. Definitely ETN with Tootin out. Watson, if he's good. DJ Moore, McConkey, or Pearsall. I would go with Lad McConkey. You just get the freaking Cowboys, and let's lean into it. All right. Pedro, wide receiver flex. Question incoming. Mike Evans. Terry McLaurin. By the way, Terry McLaurin, terrible matchup. It's freaking Quinion Mitchell. He's probably the second or third best corner in the league. So he's in a tough spot. Christian Watson, about the injury, I just don't know how much he's going to play. I'll have a better write-up in the blueprint and then tomorrow on the show about him. DJ Moore, I have as my wide receiver 20. Rome is already out. So is Luther Burden. So I want DJ Moore in there. I want Mike Evans in there. And then Waddle, no. Michael Carter, Gainwell. Yeah, I think I want Kenny Gainwell in there, and I will go with Mike Evans. Those would be my top two. That's a very close question, though. Thank you. Let's see. Burrow, Shuck, or Caleb for Andrew. I got Burrow ranked the highest. Niels again, pick two. BTJ, terrible matchup for him against Patrick Surtain. Steph Diggs, he's barely playing. Woody Marks injured, or Hampton. So I like Hampton the best there. And then if Woody Marks is good, it would be him, but I just don't know if he's going to be out there. And then I would just go Brian Thomas, but it's not a good spot. All right, start Shaheed or Parkinson straight up. Wow. Okay. Let's go to the Pick'em lobby and see what we're cooking up with here. Colby Parkinson, 8.1. This is half PPR points. And I'm just on underdogfantasy.com, and you can just type in these player names. And then you got Rashid Shaheed, who is at 7. I like both players. You can see I've been playing some Rashid Shaheed myself. I will go with Colby Parkinson, but it is very close. All right. Telios, again. Jamo, Egbuka, Myers, Waddle, Flowers, BTJ, Marv. Okay. Jamo, Egbuka, Myers, Waddle, Flowers, BTJ, Marv. Okay. I want Jamo, I want Jacoby Myers, and I want Zay Flowers. Tom Herman, need help with 3. Tet, Jefferson, Dowdle, Carter. All right. Dowdle, I think, has just got to be in there. I want Tetaroa, and then I'll go with Michael Carter. I really hope Justin Jefferson has a big week, but it should be a big week for Justin Jefferson. But you know the box scores that we're dealing with here. Does intra-team matter? No, it does not. Okay. The day's full. Parkinson or Schultz, half PPR. Yeah, this is a good question. This is kind of where that line is. So Schultz this month, tight end 13 on tight end 9 usage, scored a touchdown because Stroud got out of the pocket last week. He's been doing that a lot more. Texans 4th in projected points. It's the Raiders, a lot of zone defense. That's good for tight ends like Dalton Schultz. Yeah, it's a great spot in general. It's an eruption spot for Dalton Schultz. It's a toss-up either way. I'll go with Colby Parkinson. I think he's probably just a little bit more likely to score a touchdown because I think they're going to be pretty committed to the 3 tight end stuff, and his size matters, but that's a true toss-up. Omni, Kelsey or Loveland? I got Loveland. Loveland's my tight end 4. I wrote about his matchup and just everything about his numbers, especially when you start removing their top wide receivers, look like what the All-Pros do. So I'm going to be playing Colson Loveland higher than this. 2 of Hampton, Marks, Watson. It would be the 2 running backs if they're fully healthy. Salty, Warren or Parkinson. I'm going Colby Parkinson. Jalen Warren's just, the Colts, I just don't know how they're really going to move the football. Pick one, Charbonnet, Ramondre, Estime, or Quorum. My goodness, it's the same player over and over again. Do I have Quorum the highest? Quorum, Estime. I know I got Ramondre down there, and then Sharbs. I think Quorum's the most likely to rip off a long play. So I would just go Quorum. I don't love any of them. Starting Shuck, wondering if 2 Saints players smart. Smart, no. Is it fine? Yeah. Roz, if Woody is out, Jawar or Estime, this would be Jawar. I just don't know about Nick Chubb too. So that's just like the entire running back room's in flux. If he's the starter, you have to go with Jawar. And then T and Waddle, if T Higgins playing, you're playing T Higgins. Waddle, I moved down really far because I think that Quinn Ewers is terrible. All right. Min. PPR, Purdy or Burrow. I have them nearly back-to-back. I have Burrow right now if T. Higgins is in, but he's been limited with that concussion, so that could flip. It's close enough to flip a coin right now. I got Burrow slightly ahead, but that was assuming T. Higgins was going to be able to bounce back. Need a receiver and a flex. Adam Mitchell, Diggs, Pearsall, Shaheed, Coker, Parkinson, Estime. Okay, wide receiver-wise, I like Adonai Mitchell the most, and then flex-wise, that's so close. I'll go Colby Parkinson. I'm going Coker. I want Adonai Mitchell and Jalen Coker. That one stumped me though. Chris Gardner, full PPR without Rice and Burden, and need to figure out an RB2. Do I roll with one of Corum or K9 tonight or risk with Joe? Oh, that's close. I haven't had enough time to study Woody Marks and Nick Chubb where they're at, to be honest. We did it early in the week. We didn't have enough information. I have not circled back to that. I know that Woody Marks did not practice today. I don't have a good answer for you, to be honest. I would probably go with Kenneth Walker and just hope he can hit the big play, but we know what Kenneth Walker's been up to recently. But if like Woody Marks and Nick Chubb haven't practiced the entire week, then I think it's a different story. Okay. All right. Dobbs, Pearsall, Jaden Higgins, second flex. Dobbs, Pearsall, Jaden Higgins in the second flex. Well, some of those guys, Pearsall's not going to play, I don't think. It'll be Jaden Higgins for me right now. Let's see if I know some of you guys asked questions before we got going, and I couldn't pull them back up on my end. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get you guys back in there. Weaves, if you can help me out with kind of tracking that down if it's something that I'm not seeing on my end, but I want to make sure I get to those questions. All right. Blunts. Where you at, Blunts? Let me pull up this question. Sorry, this is getting tricky. All right, let's go. 2 running backs, flex. Marks, Jones, Monungai, Estime, Pittman, Mondre, Loveland, Algier. If Watson is out, I play Pittman in 2 and wide receiver 2. So you got to save room for a Texans running back, I think. And then I would go with Aaron Jones. Monungai and Jones is pretty much the same exact thing. I like those guys over Estime, though. And then the flex, I think I would just do the three running backs: Marks, Jones, Monungai. Oh, Weaves, you got okay. I see you cooking, Weaves. Rashid Shaheed or Colston Loveland, full PPR. Let's go with. This one's been so close. I'm going to go with Colston Loveland, though. Full PPR. Thank you, Michael. Maddie. Okay, Maddie's been huge for our channel. Let's get this one right. Half PPR, sit. Michael Wilson with Marv back. Absolutely freaking not. Hampton or Swift. Yeah, so Swift is questionable to play. I think he's probably going to go. If Michael Wilson doesn't have Marv, you're playing Michael Wilson. If Marv is back, I would go DeAndre Swift. And if DeAndre Swift is out, I would go back to Michael Wilson. How about that, Maddie? All right, Phoenix Lance. This week's actually for my championship. Thank you. Wow, that's interesting. Thank you all for the help. 2 point per carry, half PPR, need 2. Which one has to be a wide receiver? Egbuka, Coker, Shakir, Brian Thomas. Okay. I like Egbuka the best. Let's hope he can catch the football. Brian Thomas, it's just Pat Surtain. Don't love that matchup. Coker and Shakir just not produced enough for me. Egbuka's not going to play full-time snaps anymore, though. They want Jalen McMillan out there, but I'm going to go with Egbuka. Hopefully we can score a long touchdown like he did before. And then the other one, Chris Rodriguez, Jalen Warren, Kenneth Walker, Pacheco Hunt. I'll go with Jalen Warren. It's not the cleanest matchup, but he's just been better than the rest of those guys. Maddie, again, full PPR, running back flex, Walker, Charbonnet, Chris Rodriguez. Okay. Man, I just don't love any of them. I'm going with Michael Carter, though. He's kind of on pace to have 11, 12 fantasy points. The other guys, you couldn't really say that about. Oh, man. I can't say Xavier Worthy. Man, it's so close. I'm going to say Kenneth Walker. I hate that, though, for you, Maddie. Michael Carter, Kenneth Walker. All right. Akel. AK. Full PPR, pick one. Monungai, Tracy, Jawar Jordan. Okay, so of that group, Tyrone Tracy, unless if Jawar Jordan's the starting running back, you play him, period. If that's not the case, Tyrone Tracy's awesome. Pick one, Warren, Fannin, Loveland, Waller. I've got Colston Loveland as my top option. So Josh's kid's name will be Old Meat Zacchaeus Norris. Yeah. Josh's son will be named after the wide receiver who scores the most fantasy points this week. Snoopy Stepbro. Interesting. Waller or Parkinson? Yeah, I've got this question a lot this week. The reality is I love Darren Waller, but Darren Waller is projected for 27.5 yards. You can't play him. You can't play him. So I'm on Parkinson there. That's a Quinn Ewers problem, and Waller's not a full-time player. And then start 3 out of Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Watson, Olave, RJ Harvey. Okay. I want DJ Moore, I want Olave, and I want RJ Harvey. Harvey's got to be in there. I think Olave looks awesome, especially without Vele, and then DJ Moore without the top 2 options. Those would be my guys. Good questions, though. John Eaton, full PPR, Deep Dynasty League. Jordan Mason, Chuba, Sean Tucker, Pacheco. Okay. So you're strictly touchdown hunting with those running backs. Jordan Mason, their team total is rock solid, and the Giants haven't been able to stop anybody. He's rotating drives right now. I've wrote about Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones over on the Blueprint, so go find them. My answer would be Jordan Mason, and then flex Darius Slayton or Jordan Addison. Dude, Darius Slayton has been pissing me off. Darius Slayton last week, season high, 13.7 expected half PPR points. If you guys watch the tape, goes like this for a touchdown right through his hands. Jackson Dart's playing well. He's the wide receiver 44 and 49 usage this month. I'll go with Jordan Addison, even though he's even been worse. But he's got the cleaner matchup. So I'll go Jordan Addison. I wish this name could fit. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for the clutch stream. Mahomes down. Got to start Caleb or CJ Stroud. Okay, that one's going to be pretty close. So with Caleb and Stroud, the first thing I'll do here is updated team totals. It's Bears at 22, and then with the Texans at 26. I'm going to go with CJ Stroud. He's been running around more. So that's been huge. And then also got to decide between Colby, Loveland, Gadsden. This one's definitely Colston Loveland. And then Colby, Warren, Fannin, and another definitely Harold Fannin. 10 Dens. What's up, fellas? Brissett or Herbert? I'm on Jacoby Brissett there. I'll have more quarterback notes and do more research tonight. So watch the show on Saturday to double check because those guys are pretty close. But right now, I like Jacoby Brissett. And then start 3, Michael Wilson, Gainwell, Shaheed, Waddle, Fannin. Okay, Michael Wilson's got to be in there. I think Gainwell's got to be in there. And then I think I like Harold Fannin more than Waddle. Yep. JJ Primetime, let's get this one right. Issues this week. Rice is out. Sucks. Half PPR. Dak, okay. Don't know about Drake London yet. I'm guessing Drake London's not going to play. I saw a clip of him. I'm just trying to watch practice film, and he looked like he was still limping to me, but who knows? Hendo at the flex. Tight end need one of Barner, Gadsden, Warren, Revenge Game, Gesicki, or Evan Ingram. Yikes. I would go with Gadsden and just hope that they pass the ball against the Cowboys enough, but don't love any of those guys. Gadsden's not a full-time player. And then wide receiver 2, Brian Thomas, Worthy or Pat Bryant. Cheers. Cheers to you. And by the way, what a question. Go back to that one for me, Weaves. I just got to make sure. Worthy, Pat Bryant. Oh, man. I'm on Xavier Worthy. Want to bring him up. Rashee Rice and Tyquan Thornton are in the concussion protocol. He's going to go to full-time snaps. When he didn't have Rashee Rice in the lineup, Worthy was at like wide receiver 19 usage. That was with Mahomes. That was also with Worthy coming off of injury. I'll go with Worthy just because the Titans secondary is really bad. So I'll go Worthy. Okay. I think we did this one. Yep. El Fuego, PPR, start 2, Corum, Walker, Carter, Monungai. I want none of these guys. Monungai and Carter would be my answers. Alec Maris, should I start Jason Myers or Zane Gonzalez? Kicker questions. Okay. So Zane Gonzalez at Atlanta, that is 22.5, and then the Seahawks are projected for 20. I know the Seahawks, it's the exact same team total. I know the Seahawks have been kicking all these damn field goals, and I think there's a reason. It's because they can't run the ball. I think I would go without the weather concerns, and I would probably go with Zane Gonzalez. Acknowledging that I know Jacoby Myers or Jason Myers has been like absolutely electric, but I'll go Zane. And then you have Borregales. I think that's what, the Patriots? Same exact situation. I think I'll go with Zane Gonzalez, though, of those. I don't spend time on kickers. It's beneath me. I know that's pathetic. You're talking to a fantasy football analyst. It's like anything's beneath them, but I will say fantasy football kicker rankings is beneath me. How about that? Flex Loveland, Judkins, or Waddle. That's probably Judkins, but I really like Colson Loveland. DP 122492. Good evening. Let's get after this one. Genty, Estime, BTJ, Coker. I mean, it's a miracle that you have Ash and Genty and you're still here on December 18th. I do appreciate that. I would still go Genty. It's disgusting. They're projected for 12 damn points. So, and then I'm on Parkinson over Gaston and Warren. Yeah, I am. Just get the pick'em lobby up there for you guys. Parkinson or Schultz. Yep, on Parkinson there, but it's closed. Are these back to the... I think we've done that question, Weaves. All right, little Jibba. Stafford or Purdy this week. I'm on clearly Brock Purdy. Acknowledging Stafford can make me look silly, but the team totals and then Purdy's ability to escape the pocket right now and matchup-wise, it's not close. I'll go Brock Purdy. The Trig, Parkinson, Schultz, Jawan, no PPR. I'll go with Parkinson. These guys might be back-to-back in my rankings, though. So we're truly flipping coins, but I think Parkinson's going to play a lot of snaps right now. SG32, 434. 12 team, no PPR. I have Woody. We'll see if he plays. Need a flex to replace him from either Vidal, Jaden Reed, or Manungai. Swift is... Look, I would just probably play both Bears running backs. I just like the matchup and the projected points better than Reed and Vidal. Weird lineup, though. Quote the Raven. Good evening. Stressing hard. Start to Aaron Jones, Estimate, Michael Carter, Jalen Warren. Okay, you're asking the right questions. All these guys are going to be close in my rankings. Let's start with Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren is my running back 24. I got Michael Carter ahead of him with Bam Knight out. And then Aaron Jones is the highest. So I'll go Aaron Jones first, and then I'll go Michael Carter. Jalen Warren, it's a bad game script for him in general. And then start to Sutton, Tet, or Ikbuka. It's Sutton and Tetaroa. And then for the ones I didn't pick one. I would go Jalen Warren over Ikbuka. And then Vikings or Rams tonight. Let's go quickly here. Where are my Vikings? Vikings here, and then Rams. Let's go Vikings. Sam Parker, start 3, Estimate, Juwan Jennings, Jaden Reed, BTJ, Ikbuka, Coker. Okay, Juwan Jennings, I think, needs to be in there. I will go with... I think I'll go Audric Estime, get a running back in there. And then I got Jaden Reed the highest, but still trying to figure out if Christian Watson and those guys are going to play. So off to circle back with Jaden Reed. And then Ikbuka, Vidal, Manungai, Shaheed. I like Kyle Manungai, and then I like Parkinson over Gadsden. Sue Whoop, Sue K. Hopefully you guys know what Sue Whoop is. Jalen Warren, Estimate, Chubb, Wandale, Ikbuka, Adonai, Mitchell, Worthy, Frank. Man, the whole waiver wire has shown up. The running back, I like Warren over Estimate. If Nick Chubb's if he's a starter, then you have to pick him. And then wide receiver wise, I got Wandale the highest there. For the flex or for the tight end, let's start there. I got Parkinson. And then afterwards, I'll go with Emeka Egbuka for the last one for the flex. Good luck. Juan with a frightening rat dog. Apologies for roasting your dog. Howdy, amigos. Thanks for everything. Pick one. Full PPR to ride the ship to the championship. Manungai, Schultz, Parkinson, Carter, or Coker. Who do I trust more this week? Egbuka or Golden? I would probably just trust Egbuka more, but I do think that Golden's in play. And then for the first one, I like Michael Carter the best. I wrote about him on the blueprint. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. There's a shit ton of questions. Well, I'm going to try to get to all of them. And then, by the way, we got over 6,000 of you guys watching. Appreciate that. We'll be back more for quarterbacks and wide receivers on the channel tomorrow and Saturday. David Bagel, Michael Carter, Franklin, Worthy, Loveland, Waller, Parkinson. I need to pick 3. Carter's definitely in. I think Loveland's got to be in, and I think Worthy would be my top 3. Troy Franklin's harder to trust because Pat Bryant is back. Good luck to you, David. Official Rob, Goddard, Fannin, Loveland, full PPR. I want Colston Loveland. Let's get that all-pro career jump started this week. Like, got to win situation. The top receivers are out. It's just Colston Loveland out there. He looks awesome. I have AJ and Hurt, so I'm hesitant putting my eggs in one basket. Yeah, that's fine. I want Loveland. Brooklyn, Colby, Christian Watson, Adonai Mitchell, Waller, full PPR. I think I would not play Colby tonight. If Christian Watson is healthy, I would go with him. And if he's not, I would just pivot to Adonai Mitchell. I think Adonai Mitchell versus Colby Parkinson's already close enough. And then Eagles or Saints, that's a tricky situation right there. I think I would go with the Saints. No, I wouldn't. I would go the Saints. Saints defense actually has been pretty good. I really just do not trust what the Jets are doing. Hunter Henry or Mark Andrews. I got Hunter Henry ranked, I think, ahead of Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is like barely getting the rock. So I'll go Hunter Henry there. And then Sam Darnold or Love. I got Jordan Love ranked higher. Salty Avenue, Warren or Parkinson. That one's Parkinson. Charbonnet, Ramondre, Estime, Corum. It's the same exact thing over and over again. Estime and Corum is really close for me. It's between those two. If you want to watch the game and go Corum, he's just got a better chance of ripping off like a big play. Estime, like, I might take Estime in a race, but he will truck stick everybody. So he's got a legit chance at a touchdown, and he gets the jet. So I think that one's close. Both of them are flexible. It depends on like what you want. You want a big play hunt, that's Corum. If you want more likely for a goal line touchdown, it's actually, I think, Estime. All right, Salty. There you go. Thank you, Ryan. Unlazy for Sports. Loveland, Monungai, Goddard. Picking 2 in a 0.3 PPR. I want Monungai, and then I got Loveland over Goddard. And then the Rams or the Saints. I will take the Rams. Or I'm going to take the Saints for the Jets. They stink. Eddie, Caleb, Aaron Rodgers, or JJ McCarthy. Okay. I think it's got to be Caleb. Yeah, I got Caleb the highest. And then start 2, T. Higgins, Rashid Rice, Marvin Harrison, Hendo. Okay, don't know about Marv. Don't know about T. I think Rice is going to miss. And I think it's Hendo. And then I hope you have another answer. Right now, all 3 of those guys might miss, though. So, for sure, Hendo. Brett Baxman. 3 leagues, all full PPR. Start 2. Javonte, Henderson, Harvey, Gainwell. Man, you got some good ones. I would go... Oh, my gosh. They're so close. Look, man. I've got Hendo ranked the lowest. Hendo's been sensational. If you just want to say Hendo goes burr, he's fast, by all means, go for it. I also think he's probably got the lowest touchdown equity, but you know, they're truly back to back in my rankings. If you want to do Hendo goes burr, I'm here for it. Start 3, Barkley, Harvey, Wilson, Pickens. Man, you got a good ass team. Okay, if Marv is out, you can't sit Michael Wilson. I think it's that simple. I would find it hard to sit George Pickens too. I think you got to play Barkley, and then it's between if Marv plays or not. I'll go Barkley, Pickens, Michael Wilson, and then if Wilson has Marv back, I would go to RJ Harvey. And then Igbuka, Ladd, Genty, Diggs, start 3. I want Ladd, I want Genty, I want Igbuka. Diggs just like doesn't play enough right now. Should I start Parkinson over Picks? I don't know about the Pitts injury. Just you have to do your own research. I don't want to lie to you. I'm guessing he's fine, but who knows? His practices, they don't say a whole lot right now. I would go with Pitts, And then if you have to pick up somebody instead of Colby Parkinson, I think that's fine. Drew, he's got Waddle, Terry, Judkins, Loveland. I think I'm going to start Terry at wide receiver, Loveland at the flex. I think that makes. I wouldn't do Loveland over Judkins. I hate to say it. Yeah, I think I answered that one though. All right, are we back to the more current questions? Okay. Gio Ortiz always here, full PPR. You need one of everything. Hampton, Woody, Rico, Mike Evans. If Woody is fully healthy, I like him the best. If he's not, I like Hampton next. Mike Evans, Ted, okay, all those guys. Receiver, if Michael Wilson's the guy, I want him. If he's not, I think I would go with Mike Evans, but those guys would all be pretty close. I haven't ranked Michael Wilson if Marvin Harrison's in, though, so get back to me there. I like Loveland way more than Warren. I would play the receivers over Loveland, though, I think. Another dud pack. Kelsey or Pitts? I got Pitts. Adam, Dennison. Thanks for waiting, guys. Tons of questions. Got knocked this week. Singletary and Gesicki, RIP, but thanks for getting me to the playoffs. Yeah, those were tough calls, man. You almost nailed it. Singletary, I swear he was on the football field. You can envision the touchdowns happen to him. I cannot say what happened to Gesicki. That was just tragic. P.S. I missed a start, assuming Josh has had his kid. It's up in the air. They're on their way, though. If it hasn't happened yet, it's coming soon. So good luck to Josh, and more importantly, his wife. 0 cards, full PPR, play 4, Hall, Rico, Kenneth Walker, BTJ, DJ Moore, Waddle, Egbuka, Michael Wilson. Okay. I think Michael Wilson's got to be in there, even if Marv is in the lineup. I want Rico Dowdle in there still. I'll take Breece Hall, and I will take DJ Moore. Good luck there. Hood Pope. Wow, Hood Pope. Pitts or Bowers, don't want to bench the talent. I don't know. Look, man, if Geno plays, then I think Bowers has a better case. But right now, they're projected for 11 points. Like, I watched the Bowers. They can only throw, like, a quick out to him. Like, obviously, it's Brock Bowers. He can have a huge game. Kyle Pitts had the 3rd best game ever last week. So if Drake London's out, I'm just going Pitts. But if Bowers gets Geno and Drake London comes back for Pitts, then I think it's a toss-up. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, let's easy there, Brian. Easy. Family program. Parkinson or Loveland. I'm on Colston Loveland. He's playing versus Caleb and Puka. Yeah, you just want the fantasy points. I'll go Colston Loveland. The Ritz Brothers. Chris Rodriguez or Breece Hall. I got Breece Hall in that one. Am I crazy for being confident in starting Herbert over Josh Allen? No, you want Josh Allen. The whole point is to have Josh Allen. B-Ball 628. Who should I start full PPR? Woody, Monungai, Evan Hull, no. Unless that's Breece Hall. DeMercado, Coker, Knox for 2 flex spots. If Woody's in there, we're playing Woody. And then I like Monungai for the next spot. And then I would go Coker afterwards. Dawson Knox will be interesting, though, if Dalton Kincaid can't play, though. Real quick before I get to the next question, just wanted to float this out. Pick'em Lobby, Underdog. This is where I'm at today. Promo code The Show. Underdog Fantasy. Play 5, get 75. We got this like unwrapped bit going on. We're giving a bunch of bonuses to you guys. Great time to be over on the Dog app. We're in more states than ever before. We have sides. We have totals. If you're in the prediction market states out there, we have tons and tons and tons of player stuff in addition to the teams, multiple sports. If you're a big college football fan, it's been awesome. Lots of growth over there. What I'm doing tonight, for the Rams and the Seahawks. I think that the Rams secondary is vulnerable. People think that Sam Darnold's going to turn into a pumpkin. He might. He also could just rip downfield passes. JSN against quarters coverage is the best wide receiver I've ever seen. The Rams play a ton of quarters. Against quarters, you can throw little quick outs to the sideline, big comeback routes, and JSN is nails against them. So I like the JSN higher. At the same time, against quarters, you can throw the ball over the top, big post routes. That's what Rashid Shaheed does. So I think that rolling the dice on anything Rashid Shaheed, big plays, makes sense. They're also kind of trying to gear up Rashid Shaheed. He's playing more snaps than before. This is a huge game. They trade a third-round pick. I think Rashid Shaheed's interesting. Kobe Durant, he's the corner that's going to be guarding Rashid Shaheed and JSN. So if I like these wide receivers a bunch, I should probably like Kobe Durant in terms of solo tackles. So that's what I like right now. And then Kenneth Walker, trying to make some money back on Kenneth Walker. I'm going on the lower in terms of fantasy points. Their left tackle is out, and they have just not been able to run the ball. I don't think that they should have any confidence in doing that. So that's what I'm doing on the Pick'em lobby. Tons more. Like you can just click in Puka Nacua, your favorite streamer. He's out here with freaking fumbles lost. If you like that, if you really are into first half targets, we got that. So promo code the show gets you into the Pick'em lobby. Colby, Bowers, Waller, or Loveland. I like Colston Loveland the most. Eagles or Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs, assuming Chris Jones still wants to play. Okay, another Saints or defense question: Saints or Chiefs? Very close. I'll go with the Chiefs. One life, get it right. That's right. I have no running back, so I play Sharps, Estime, Corey Krosky, Merritt, Chubb, or Pacheco. Need one. I would probably play Estime. Then maybe you get lucky that Nick Chubb is the starting running back if Woody Marks can't play and Chubb can. So that's how I would handle it. All right, Chasing Sundays, 12 team, who to flex, Tet, Genty, Godwin. If it's full PPR, I just want Tetaroa McMillan. If it's half PPR, I think I would go Genty and just know it's not going to work. Ryan Donnelly, pick 3, full PPR, Debo, Brian Thomas, Waddle, Kenny Gainwell, Jaden Reed, leaning Gainwell, Reed, BTJ. No, those would be my answers. With Debo, terrible matchup against Cooper DeJean. Brian Thomas, he's also got a terrible matchup. So Brian Thomas versus Waddle would be really close. Where do I have those guys? I'm going to go Waddle over Brian Thomas just because it's Pat Surtain. But otherwise, I agree. Joseph, Jawar Jordan's startable if Woody out and Chubb is in. I'll get back to you on that one. I needed to do some more research on that. I need to read the report and see what they would do in that situation. I think it would probably just be a lot more Nick Chubb than Jawar Jordan. But I need to do more. All right, JJ Primetime, 12-2, lost Rice and Burden. Okay, I think we've done this one. Yeah, we did that one. Brissett or Herbert, I think we've done this one too. Alex Farhat, tight end and flex. Kittle, Bowers, or RJ Harvey. I have Kittle ahead of Bowers, and then RJ Harvey's definitely the flex. JT, flex. RJ Harvey, Egbuka, or Pickens. I think I'll go RJ Harvey, but I hate to sit George Pickens. Nathan Salazar, Rico, or Aaron Jones. I think they're pretty much back-to-back in my rankings. I think I would go Aaron Jones in full PPR, though, and then Dart or Nix or Stroud. I got Dart ranked the highest, but that one's really close. I'm going to do some more research on the Brian Flores of it all with Jackson Dart. So stay tuned for the running or the quarterback ranking show in the next couple days. But first gut instinct would be Jackson Dart. Known too late. Full PPR. Egbuka, Parkinson, Coker, Pollard, Corum, Estime. Okay. Pollard. Yeah, you're going with Pollard. He's been too good. The Rich Brothers again. Dynasty Superflex. Stafford, Baker, Mariota. Okay. I think I got Mariota ranked the lowest. Laramie Tunsil's out. And it's the Eagles. So I'll go with Baker for sure. And then I'll play Stafford tonight. JV, one flex, full PPR, Waddle, Judkins, Ted, Parkinson. Okay. I think that the answer is Tedero and McMillan. The Judkins stuff has just been so bad recently. So Tedero and McMillan, pass funnel, Buccaneers, one of their starting corners is out. I'll go Tedero. All right. Ripe Imez or something like that. RYPY. Harold or Loveland. I got Loveland's one spot ahead. The team total would be in favor of the Bears. Who has more upside if I flop Thursday Night Football? I would say Loveland has more upside. JJ Primetime. How scared are we at quarterback with Dak? I don't think Pickens is lazy. He can just be schemed away. He had a moment a couple weeks ago, but it's X receiver. If you get like cloud coverage to your side, it's just hard to get going. The Chargers run a lot of quarters, which you're going to see less of, like kind of taking that away. Big comeback routes, big post routes to George Pickens. So I think it's like actually not a bad deal. So I would go with. I'm fine with Pickens. He's like my wide receiver 10. Should I go Love, Shuck, or Rodgers? I think I would go with Shuck. 20 carats. Watson if healthy. Jaden Reed or T-Mac. I want Tedero McMillan. Griffin face plays. Goddard, Loveland, or Kelsey. I'm on Loveland. Just to hit on this, got a lot of Loveland questions. Here's how I can sell you. When Odunze and Burden have missed, Loveland ran around 83% of the dropbacks, which is more than usual, and he had a 33% target share. Without them on the field across the entire season, 2.9 yards per route, 28% target share. Those are like wide receiver 1 numbers. And I think he's good. So I would want Colson Loveland. All right. MXT Suna, something like that. Genty, JSM, Estimate, DJ Moore, Buka, Godwin, Jacoby, losing brain cells over this, as am I. My God. I think DJ Moore and Jacoby have got to be in there, and then your running back would just be, it would be Asher Genty. Senor. Stafford and Mayfield. I'm on Baker Mayfield. Yep. Is that all we got? Are we running out of questions? Let's see. Where are we at? We got more questions, or are we running out? Okay. Steve. Flex, 2 wide receivers. Waddle, Terry, Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson's got to be in. Tyrone Tracy's got to be in. And Jacoby Myers got to be in. Easy. Brock from Pokemon. Parkinson or Loveland. I'm on Loveland. Ranking Igbuka, Myers, BTJ. Myers would be 1. Igbuka 2. Brian Thomas would be last because of matchup. Big Zeke, 2 flex, 2 running back. Henderson's got to be in. Harvey's got to be in. I would play Marks if he can go into one of the flexes. And then you got Warren, Fannin, Gadsden, or Esme. I would go with Warren. And then if Woody Marks can't play, it would be Audric Estime. So all the backs. Big Cat, Parkinson off of waivers, or Fannin, Coker, Estime, Hubbard. That one's really close, man. I think Jalen Coker in full PPR is actually pretty fun. So I'm going to go with Jalen Coker. They got to pass against the Bucks. Everyone does. John Johnson, full PPR. flex spot. Fannin, Manungai, Gadsden. Thanks for the content. Thanks for all you guys. Just it's week freaking 16. We got $7 grand in here. That's awesome. Fannin, Manungai, Gadsden. I'm going to go with Kyle Manungai. You start removing some of the receivers. He's still playing like 40% of the snaps. Nothing's really changed when he went crazy. Nothing had changed when he slowed down the last couple of weeks. Nothing's changed. He's like the running back 26. I'm going to keep leaning into it. D. My Truzy. It sounds like one of the YouTube comments you guys always post. K9 for Gadsden. No, you got to go with Kenneth Walker. I'm sorry. And then I don't think Ricky's going to play. So I'll go Egbuka. Brofucius. Lost Mahomes. Man. Monty, Estimate, or Worthy. I would go David Montgomery. The team total is the highest of the week. Gary Sanders, Hampton, or Michael Wilson in the flex. I think I would go Michael Wilson even if Marv is back. I'm going to guess they're going to need another week for Marv, but maybe I'm wrong. McChew, 99. Diggs, Coker, Adonai Mitchell. Full PPR. Okay. I'm on Adonai Mitchell. The Steph Diggs stuff is just tough. He's just not running enough routes, and he's really slipped. He's wide receiver 65 in usage this month. That lines up with everybody back at wide receiver. So I'm on Adonai Mitchell. Thank you, Paul. If you're in here in the live section, hit me with a free comment. I'll get back to you because that was a big tip. Lamar or Brissett, I'm on Lamar there. DJ Moore or Ladd, that one's close. I'm currently at Ladd, and then Loveland or Bowers, I'm on Colson Loveland, but we'll see about if Geno Smith comes back for Bowers' situation. All right, next. Jeff Smith. Looks like he's doing the robot or the statue or something there. Start Justin Jefferson, Tedero McMillan, Colby Parkinson, Kyle Pitts, Mike Evans. I want Mike Evans and Tedero McMillan. Anthony, Marks, McConkey, or Henderson. I think you got to go with Henderson, and then if Woody Marks is out there, you're playing Woody Marks. Charlie Brandt, pick 3 PPR to help me avoid punishment. Corum, Kenneth Walker. I see how you got to the punishment problem. Okay. Oh my gosh. Genty, Brian Thomas, and Kenneth Walker on the same team. Oh man. And honestly, that is probably a little bit of this channel's fault. So apology. Let's get this one right though. I want the running backs. I want all the running backs there. Adrian, Brissett, May, or Burrow. That one's really close. I think I got May the highest though. They're just passing the ball like crazy in New England. Okay, game's about to kick off here, so we got a couple more questions. Let's go rapid fire. Loveland or Parkinson, got Loveland there. Full PPR, need a running back, 1 flex. Kyron, Derrick Henry, Mike Evans. Derrick Henry, and then the flex. Go Mike Evans. Bench Kyron. All right, charge 1721, non-PPR, JMO or Harvey. Oh, my goodness. Go JMO. Phillip, Parkinson, Loveland, or Fannin. Let's go with Loveland there. It's really close between Loveland and Fannin. Not Tom Condon, Dak, or Stafford. I'm on Dak, Parkinson, Vidal, Estime, Khalil Shakir. I'll go Estime. Absolute buck. Jacoby Myers or Colson Loveland. I'm on Jacoby. Seahawks or pivot to Lions. Let's pull this up. I don't think I would go with the Seahawks, though. Lions against the Bucks are right there, and then Cincy. I think I'll go with the Bucks. Bryce might not have his left tackle, so let's go with Bucks. Jay Bird, Henderson, or Sutton full PPR. I'll go with Henderson, but I really like Cortland Sutton. Like really, 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 really like him. And then I'll go Reed over Brian Thomas, but that was assuming Christian Watson's out and he's questionable. Okay. Dyler, Chase Pickens Smith. Okay. Benches Vidal. Start Parkinson tight end and flex Bowers if Pearsall is out. Yes. Can Vidal and Hampton both eat? I would say they both probably can't eat. Crazier things have happened, but I'm going to guess Vidal's touches go down. Let's see. Ryan's starting wide receiver and flex. Pittman, estimate Coker. Where do I have Coker versus Pittman? Of course, back to back. I think I would do Pittman and let's do Pittman and Coker. Phillips, Stafford or T-Law. T-Law. Official Rob, Flex 1, Ted, Watson, estimate Carter, Hampton. I think I want Tetaroa right there. Hampton to be close, though. It's between those two. I'll go Tetaroa. Jeremy Parkinson versus Warren Parkinson for me. Let's see. Is there any big ones left? I'm going to scan for some big ones. J.R. Knight, New York City, tight end premium, PPR. I'm starting Parkinson Knight or Parker Washington, Vidal Cup, Malik Washington. Dude, you got me here. Okay. I would go with Colby Parkinson. Hopefully, score a touchdown here. So hopefully that works out. Okay. Is there any other big ones that we have? I think we're winding down. You got a couple more for me? Mason, Gainwell, Hampton, Tyron Tracy, Jennings, Sutton, Higgins if healthy, one running back, one flex. Okay, the running back I like the most is Hampton, and then the flex, man, I don't think that you could sit T. Higgins if he is healthy, but I'm not sure if he's going to play. Cortland Sutton looks awesome right now. So Cortland Sutton would be my other answer. I think that the Cortland Sutton receiving yards is too low currently. Like that doesn't make sense to me, only at 50. Okay, Daswami, Rico, Gainwell, Sutton, London, half year start two. I would like to start. Speaking of, I would go with Sutton, and then Rico and Kenny Gainwell would be close. If Drake London's in, then you have to play him. I'm guessing he's not going to play though. Kenny Gainwell and Rico are very close to me. I'll go Kenny Gainwell. Game script just like so on his side, and he's the RB13 in usage this month, catching a ton of passes. So I'll go Kenny Gainwell and Sutton there. Colton starting Hendo, McCaffrey, Evans. Okay, Juwan McBride look awesome there. Full PPR, one flex spot left. Rice, I don't think he's going to play. Irving, Reed, DJ Moore, Woody, or Jettis. If Woody's in, you're playing Woody. If he's not, then you're playing Bucky Irving. Joseph, Egbuka, Watson, Keenan, Waddle, Adonai Mitchell, Estime. Okay. These ones are really close. I think that if Watson plays, you got to fire him up. Keenan Allen, I'm waiting to see if Quentin Johnson plays. If Quentin Johnson is out, I will have a decent ranking on Keenan. Waddle, I moved down in my rankings. Adonai Mitchell is fine. So is Egbuka. These ones are all really close. I'll go with Egbuka, though, and then Adonai Mitchell, and if Watson plays, it would be him. And then Waddle would be right there, too. So all these guys are really close to my rankings. You're asking the right questions. Okay, Okay, the last one, DJ Moore, Michael Carter, Egbuka, full PPR. I think I would go Michael Carter. He's playing a lot of snaps. Here's Michael Carter last week. After Bam Knight left, Michael Carter got the goal line snap, and a lot of the work in general. Team total is really high too. Okay. I think we're out of all the questions. I think we did it. Okay. Appreciate last second stream, how to get it done. Hopefully we get Colby Parkinson in the end zone. And hopefully we advance to the semifinals. I'll be back Sunday morning to answer more questions out there. Good luck. Promo code the show. Get into the Underdog Pick'em lobby. By the way, we do have the Pick'em lobby where you can be looking at in-game stuff. So you'll see the projections will be updating and you can fire away. So in-game stuff, tons of it. Boxing. I think that Jake Paul, is that tomorrow? Yeah, Jake Paul. I'm sure we have a promo for it. So get over there. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, Weaves.